Hello everybody, welcome back for part 6 on day 1 of the trip to Cornwall. This time we're heading from Bridge of Cali to Dunkeld. I'm afraid the scenery is not as spectacular today as it has been. The landscape's flattened out and there's a few hills, but there's no mountains. Also the colours fading a bit because of the lights going down, and also because there's fewer leaves on the trees down this way. I think they had quite a lot of wind down here. It's blown a lot of the leaves away. You can see a few trees blown down on the side of the road here. So to make up for the lack of scenery, I'm going to do a bit more chatting today. So I hope you find it interesting. If you're starting to get bored with it, well, there's always the fast forward button, or skip to the next video. But we'll see how it goes. Let's get on with it. Alright, so go less from heat again. So far the heated waistcoat and the insoles and the heated grips combined with the handlebar muffs have been working well. I've managed to stay quite warm. The handlebar muffs certainly make a huge difference, keeping the cold wind off your hands. Stops all the heat getting blown away. But the real challenge is going to come on the way back when we've got some pretty cold weather. But we'll talk about that when we get there. As you can see, there's hardly any leaves left on the trees at all down here. They've had a couple of storms. I think they had more wind than we had further up north, and it's obviously blown the leaves off the trees. There's not even any lying on the road, so it's they're well gone. They've been gone for a while. Okay, we're crossing the River Ericht here, which will now be on our right hand side down in the valley, and there are quite a few ruined mills following the river down towards the towns of Blairgowrie and Rattray. There were originally flax mills and jute mills in the 18th century. They're all ruined now, and if you look on Google Earth you can actually see them in amongst the trees, the ruins of the mills. And you can also see that down on the right hand side now there's a huge fruit farm, rows and rows of polytunnels. I think they grow raspberries and other soft fruit in there. Of course, this whole area was famous for jute mills back in the 18th and 19th centuries. Dundee is about 36 miles southeast of here, and Dundee is the well-known centre of the jute industry back then. The Deauville. Right. $197 miles, more or less. Turn off here. Right here. I've never been this way before, but I'm trying to cut out the motorway from Perth. I really don't want to go down the motorway. So I'm into unknown territory again. You'll have seen that I put up some information about the petrol, the amount that I bought and the number of miles I covered, and miles per gallon. In fact, the miles per gallon I was getting during this trip varied drastically, and I don't think it was down to how much petrol the bike was using. I think it was down to how much petrol I was actually getting from these pumps. And one section of the trip said I got 83 miles to the gallon. Well, that's ridiculous. There's no way that I only got 83 miles to the gallon. So obviously I got short measure on the petrol. And another one I got 103 miles to the gallon, which was obviously the other extreme. So I suspect a lot of these petrol pumps are very inaccurate, and a lot of them seem to be in favour of the petrol station. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, stay off the road. Stay away from the manhole covers, for goodness sake. I think those lights are going to be pretty good. If they're showing up even in this light, then they will be fine.
We'll discuss the lights in more detail later on in the next episode when it starts to get truly dark and we can get the full effect of the spotlights and the LED headlight bulb.
Can't be much juice left in me helmet camera now. How utterly ridiculous.
I don't have a problem with 20-mile-an-hour speed limits in built-up areas where there's pedestrians about and parked cars and all kinds of other objects in the road that can unsight you or unsight pedestrians. It makes perfect sense. But out here in the middle of nowhere, on wide roads where there's no obstructions, a few cottages spread along the road, I can't see any justification for reducing the speed limit to 20 mile an hour. No justification at all. And the people who are doing this need to have a good long think about it, because what they're actually doing is making it even harder for people to get from A to B, which is not doing anything to help the economy. It's just stupid.
have to let this guy past because I don't know the road, he probably does. No manners. It's gonna be dark. .47 miles to go. About the same as I've walked. Well, in real terms, not far off what I've already done because of that 70 odd miles that I wasted. was it, for 4 hours. It's going to be more like 8 o'clock by the time I get there, not 7 o'clock, I reckon. I suppose that's okay. Watch out for the deer now.
You'll be able to see now that as we get into these darker stretches where there's trees on the side of the road, that the camera is struggling to cope. It's getting quite grainy, and the stabilisation isn't working so well, and it gets progressively worse from here on, unfortunately. I never noticed the problems with the DJI camera while I was on the trip, because each night when I got to the hotel I had time to back up the files to the hard drive and have a quick scan through and make sure that there was nothing obviously wrong with the footage. So I never noticed that the camera was struggling with the stabilisation and the graininess once it started getting dark. I really wasn't expecting that to happen. I'd been used to using the Sony X3000 camera, which doesn't have any problems with stabilisation in low light, because it uses a different system for stabilisation. It's a physical, mechanical system. And the Sony camera works quite well in low light as well, so I really wasn't expecting it to be as bad as it is. I certainly know for next time I'll be looking at different options for filming when the light gets low. It's a shame it's so late in the day and the light's fading and the camera's not behaving itself very well, because it's actually quite a pleasant ride down this road. There's a few locks by the side of the road, there's plenty of trees, and it's a well-made road. There's some nice bends on it. It'll be very pleasant on a sunny day in the spring or the autumn or even the summer if it wasn't too busy. Well, the footage from the DJI is now getting almost unwatchable. It's still slightly better than the unstabilised helmet camera footage, but not much better. And it's certainly, the video quality is not as good as the helmet camera. It's suffering quite badly from the failing light now.
It's not that light. Dip beam looks not bad. It's not quite full dark yet, so we're not getting the full effect of it, but
okay, that's us crossing the River Tay now, and we'll soon be meeting up with the A9. We won't be going along it, we'll be crossing it, heading down to Crieff, Bridge of Allen, Grangemouth and further south. By the time we get to Crieff, it's going to be dark. That's all for the next episode though.
pay attention to where I'm going here.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. You can let me know in the comments how you found the chat, whether it was too much, not enough, or just irritating.
Coming up to that time of night, aren't we?
Thanks for subscribing if you have done. Thanks for your comments and your likes, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye for now.
Okay, now I know where I am.